tragedy may have been averted, but this tale is far from over. It was always very unusual for the royal family to announce that this Sandringham summit was going to be held before today. It meant that the media, including ourselves of course, descended here waiting for the outcome. And we got news of that outcome at around 5 o'clock in the form of a statement issued by the Queen, which was striking for a number of reasons. It was very personal in its tone, more about family than the firm. It was very honest, the Queen admitting in the statement that she would have preferred Harry and Meghan to stay as full-time working members of the royal family. And the fact that she referred to them as Harry and Meghan, but as their first names rather than their titles. It's already been written in the headlines that the Queen has allowed the young couple to quit, to start a new life in Canada and in the UK, albeit with a period of transition. But in truth, given how unhappy the couple have been, she would have had very little choice. Here's how today's drama unfolded. A family meeting like no other, summoned to Sandringham to sort the Sussex situation. And yet, before it had even begun, another extraordinary episode of this royal drama.
He wouldn't be sort of kicked out of the House of Windsor. Prince Harry.
The international media that had gathered here may officially have been kept well away from the gates of the Queen's residence. But unofficially, there seems to have been dozens of anonymous briefings from all sides, including a story in the Times quoting a source who claimed that Harry and Meghan felt pushed out by William's bullying attitude. In another unexpected twist, William and Harry have issued a joint statement denying what they describe as the false story about their relationship. They say, for brothers who care so deeply about mental health issues, the use of such inflammatory language is offensive and potentially harmful. It's another example of just how messy this story has become, of how the royal family are trying to control it, and of how that's proving impossible. At 5 o'clock, a statement was issued from the Queen. Very personal in its tone, Her Majesty admitted that her family would have preferred Harry and Meghan to remain full-time working members of the royal family. But the statement said,
Harry and Meghan have made it clear that they do not want to be reliant on public funds in their new lives. It has therefore been agreed that there will be a period of transition in which the Sussexes will spend time in Canada and the UK.
So just how did the couple, who less than 2 years ago were being described as the most popular of all the royals who could bring the institution into the 21st century, end up here?
I think Harry was probably the most, I suppose, the most liked member of the royal family as far as the Sun readers were concerned. I felt he was fun to work with. He was a great member of the royal family. He just was so good with people. He would make sick kids smile. I promise you, that man was a superb ambassador for our country, and he's just doesn't think he wants to do it anymore.
But although some have been quick to blame Meghan for the events of the last few days, supporters of the couple say that's unfair. Harry has spoken of his struggles with his mental health long before he met her, ever since the death of his mother, in fact.
Working as family does have its challenges, of course it does. Everybody.
On the agenda today, how exactly can the young couple go part-time? How would half Royal Highnesses work? What exactly did they mean when they said they wanted to become financially independent, and how would that work? Previous examples haven't gone down too well. There have always been concerns about conflicts of interest for royals performing public duties at the same time as private ventures. This video resurfaced of Harry apparently letting Disney's boss know that Meghan is available for voiceovers. The latest drama may rival any plot dreamt up by Disney, but the Queen will of course be keenly aware of how this could look to the taxpayer. So how is this instalment being viewed locally?
I think Meghan is probably a very proactive young woman, and I don't think she's been given credit for what she's done.
I'm sure there'll be connections still with Harry to the royal family. He'll never break away completely, will he? He is just part of them.
We will get over this. It's a bit like Brexit. We will get over it eventually. It lingers and it lingers, but we will get it resolved.
But could resolving Brexit prove much easier? Resolving the financial issues are one thing, quite another, the issues that are said to have driven Harry and his wife to their announcement. The couple have recently complained about what they see as unfair treatment in the media, with editors denying that their coverage has been racist. Many have compared the way that Kate is treated by the press to the way Meghan is, with seemingly unexplainable differences of approach to the two duchesses. Whether or not the couple feels supported will surely influence what happens next. Despite the family's best attempts today to get a grip of this drama, there will surely be many more twists to come. And so Harry and Meghan will be dividing their time between Canada and the UK, the young couple adamant in their desire to break away.
Well, when Meghan Markle joined the royal family less than 2 years ago, it appeared the monarchy was successfully reinventing itself. So how do people who welcomed her as a breath of fresh air back then view her now? We asked the comedian and journalist Sapphire McIntosh to see what those in her home city of Leeds made of the news that the Markle sparkle would be leaving the royal limelight.
Less than 2 years ago, under brilliant spring sunshine, they were on top of the world. The new couple, determined to do things differently, but quickly found out their fairy tale was not to be. So they're off. With the news of Harry and Meghan stepping away from royal duties, I've come to Leeds, which has a large Caribbean community, to ask them, how has this news made them feel? Do you feel like the way that they've been treated in the press?
That's right.
Have you felt that it's been a bit different?
Yeah, it's not right.
What's not right?
The way they treat them in the press, they shouldn't do it. I don't blame them from leave. They want a piece of happiness. After they kill off his mum, they don't want to be there anymore, innit? They want to move away from there.
I haven't got nothing bad to say about them, because I think they are good role models. The Queen is an example to the family, but the new royals, they have a different perspective. If you start getting taxpayers' money, taxpayers expect a return on whatever money they put in.
Do you think the criticism's been quite unfair about them as a...
well, because they're royal, it's obviously that they will be criticised. They're out in the public, there's nothing that you and I can do about it. That's going to happen and go along for something else. What I'm happy with, I'm tired of Brexit, so let's have Harry and Meghan.
Hello. Oh, hi, Grandma. You're right. Okay, thanks. You look nice. Oh, thanks.
We've just come to my grandma's house. Growing up in a British colony, she sang God Save the Queen every morning. She's part of the Windrush generation and a massive royal fan. To people like my grandmother, Meghan being mixed race means something. So obviously when you saw Meghan was joining the royal family, do you think that caused more excitement amongst your peers and yourself as a mixed race woman?
Because it appears that they're a little bit relaxed now, seeing her.
Yeah.
You see?
And since they've announced that they're stepping further back from royal duties, how has that made you feel?
We'll miss Meghan. We'll miss Meghan and Harry. But again, it's their decision. But I don't think we've lost them forever, you know?
Do you think that the royal family ever accepted Meghan Markle?
I think when they first got together, I think they did. You know, nobody realised. Nobody thought about now, when they would have gone, you know, or walked away or whatever. I think they did to begin with.
What do you think changed?
Well, according to what the paper says, there's a lot been said about her. And I think that's built this thing up.
Do you think it's been sensationalised?
Yes, yeah. It's built it up. It's been built up. It's been coming a long time, and now it's been realised. And therefore, they've gone.
Do you think that the British press ever accepted Meghan Markle?
I wouldn't say that they have never accepted her. I wouldn't say that. But there have been several times in the press where they hint at things, you know? But like I tell you, there are people who really love them, so that doesn't matter.
The couple said from the beginning they wanted to modernise the royal family. Whether it'll work or not is anyone's guess.
Well, joining me now is Peter Hunt, formerly of the BBC, the royal correspondent, and lawyer and women's rights activist Dr. Shole Mos Shogbamimu. Welcome to you both. Let me start with you, Peter.
We've had this summit at Sandringham. We've made all the Shakespearean allusions earlier on. Does this draw a line under anything? And how does this fudge, because that's what it sounds like, actually work?
I don't think it draws a line. I think the devil will be in the detail. We still don't know about the public money. We still don't know about the private money. We still don't know what royal work they'll do, what private work they'll do. But I think overarching this, Harry and Meghan have played a blinder. I mean, last week they sort of blindsided the royals. They bounced them into accepting their way, their ideas. They presented them with a fait accompli. This week, today, the Queen, Charles and William have had to blink and accept it. They couldn't afford to lose Harry, they couldn't afford to lose Meghan.
But give us some context. Why did it come to this in the first place? And we showed the pictures of the wedding there, 20 months ago. They were supposed to reboot the monarchy, make it into this sort of more multiracial, modern arrangement. And now we've had an emergency summit in Sandringham.
I think because this has been a long time coming for William, ever since the age of 12, when he walked behind his mother's coffin with that wreath with the word mummy on it. He has struggled with his role. That struggle has only increased. And
William or Harry?
Harry, sorry, right. I do apologise, Harry. And it just became intense once he met and fell in love with Meghan. From the moment he met her, he feared the day he might lose her, and he feared that history might repeat itself as it did with his mother.
We heard that statement from the brothers this morning after some reports in the newspapers. How much is this about a fraternal rivalry that had got really nasty?
I think there's an element of that. I mean, because the crucial thing about that statement was it was objecting to the word bullying. William didn't want to be known as a bully, and Harry agreed with him. But what the statement didn't do was remove the fact, which Harry has acknowledged last year, of a breakdown in their relationship. So I think what you're seeing, as well as that breakdown, you're now seeing Harry and Meghan breaking the mould. No more going to Grimsby fish markets or factories in Scunthorpe. There'll be astride a global stage, and it'll be like issues-based royalty and causes that they want to champion.
I have to respectfully disagree with Peter, right?
Respectfully disagree. Go on.
Respectfully disagree. First of all, there's a lot of media-manipulated outrage about whether or not the Queen was blindsided or not. All of that. I mean, one minute the Queen didn't know, but another minute, oh, yes, she did, but she told them to hold up the announcement. And when you apply deductive reasoning to that, it tells you she knew. And whether or not, this whole thing about poor Harry, young age, walking behind his mother's coffin, how emotionally damaged he is. I think we need to really stop that negative stereotype. That negative trope. It's wrong. Look,
but we don't know that, do we?
No. We do know that.
We don't know the psychology of the man.
We do know that using emotionally damaged to describe Harry as weak, as incapable of making his own mind is just absolutely wrong.
But that's not what Peter said, is it?
No. But that is a perception that comes with that, as though because of what he experienced, he's not now in a position, or he has this mental health issues. If that's the case, then that would be for every other person that has lost their parents.
Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit. Why does any of this actually matter?
Oh, excellent question. I have no idea why we're spending so much time on a young couple's decision when we should honestly be minding our own business. Look,
but you've come to the studio, so it clearly matters to you as well.
No, it matters to me for us to understand that Harry and Meghan do not owe us jack all about their personal lives, right? And we need to understand, why is it that they had to make this momentous decision? What is it that provoked this change in their lives? How have we as a society contributed to that? That's what we should be talking about, rather than blaming Meghan for doing something wrong or Harry for being emotionally damaged.
Peter?
Why does it matter?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it matters because it was about the institution of the British monarchy. I think there was a very
And how much is that institution in peril as a result of what's been going on?
It's not in peril.
Hang on, wait, let Peter answer that question. OK, Peter, come on.
I think it was a dangerous moment for the institution. I think it was the most dangerous moment since the death of Diana, Princess of Wales.
Why? Oh, my goodness,
hang on a second.
No, hold up a second.
Are we still respectfully disagreeing?
I'm still respectfully disagreeing. No. I have to butt in here because...
Wouldn't be the first time.
The most dangerous peril this royal family have been in is when Prince Andrew is alleged to have committed rape, alleged to have had sex with a minor, and
which he has denied, of course.
Of course he's denied it. Yes. But he also made a conscious decision to have a friendship with a convicted paedophile. That puts them in peril. That is shameful. That is disgraceful.
Okay, let's ask Peter. Let him have a word as well.
This is stronger than just water.
Okay, all right. So, Peter, moment of peril, is it over now, or is just the beginning of this rather uncharted journey?
I'm trying to get every word I utter.
Go on.
It most definitely is not over, because the words are fantastically warm, but the questions are not answered, and the devil will be in detail, and it could still come unstuck, because the crucial issue is, how will they be a royal one day? How will they fly the flag for the UK in the USA, and then the next day earn private money?
And you can do a bit of hybrid? They can do a bit of both? Yes or no?
What I agree with is that because it's new territory, of course, they're going to have to navigate these new waters. But please, people, this family has, reset traditions a number of times. So the fact that tradition is being reset here is okay.
But can they reinvent themselves this time again?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course they can.
Fundamentally, they are breaking the mould of what it means to be a senior royal.
Amen to that.
Has it
agreement?
Absolutely. Shake my hand. That's
okay.
Good.
I think we'll leave it on that note. Shola, Peter, thanks very much indeed.